just to finish the stream from the other day, to connect both videos. I know that they're both insanely too long. That's why I say you have to watch on 2x. Watch it on 2x. I know I'm talking slow. I don't have a script. I didn't make bullet points. I was tired. Anyways, so to connect the two stories, so there's just a little bit of time in between those two stories. And like I said, I couldn't go down every trail of every story. And anyways, there's things about it, like maybe that are, if I was gonna say, like, not a couple times I've said something, it was like generally true, but there might be like one tiny exception, like the instance where my friend went to jail. Sometimes I mess things up. Like, he got arrested with his car. His mom came to pick up the dog like 3 weeks later. She asked me if I was fine watching after, and I was like, yeah, I'll watch after. But he got arrested with his car. I was without a car, and I think I was laid off for that time. So I think I got my car back, and yeah, my boss laid me off when I was like without a car. My roommate was bringing me to work. The guy let live with me for free. Like, it was just crazy time. And if I went down that trail talking about that boss and everything, like, I'm not saying they weren't like the scum of the earth people, but they were weird. They had money. He was a very cheap person. That's how a lot of people get rich. Is they are the cheapest of the cheap. They save every penny they can. And he was a hard worker too. I'll give him that. He wasn't lazy or anything, but he could be unrealistic with his expectations and stuff, and wanting a lot for little. He wanted a lot, but he pays a little. So, anyways, yeah, like I said, I was talking about with Timmy looking through the door hole and seeing us hitting the lines, and I did do coke one or two other times with them. I didn't pay for it. I really don't think I did. And not after my friend moved that I had lived with previously, but I think they did a little bit with me on like a couple occasions. I wasn't drugging it up and partying like every day of the week. Like, we drank some beer and stuff, and it's like anyone else would when they're young and they're like comfortable with doing drugs and stuff like that, but not like an addict or everyday user. I'd use occasionally. So he went to jail. My sister came to visit, and I mentioned how her and her boyfriend introduced me to drugs early on in life, and I've talked to people online and stuff and tried to warn them, keep your kids in church. It's got to be a good church, a church that not a subversive church that is going against everything in the Bible, going for a left liberal agenda, doing gay marriage and all this kind of crap. And but you also have to. That's why I'm looking into Orthodoxy, because the Protestant, to go that way, it's self-interpretation. You can just do. It's whatever you think that the Bible says, and the Orthodox Church is the one who wrote the Bible. So, anyways, so she came to visit. She wasn't able to go to the doctor in Florida anymore, but she came to visit me for some reason. I can't even remember, and she brought this guy with her, and he was trying to get out of Tennessee, and I don't know if he was running from the cops or what the deal was. And I told her not to bring anyone with her, because that was part of the contention with the other guy I had lived with, the one who him and the girl ended up getting together, and she had the two kids, and they wanted me out, and that was one of the points of contention, is that her and her boyfriend came down. She came and stayed with me like 3 different times, and one time she didn't even stay with me. Like, I think she came down like probably like 4, maybe 5 times, while I was staying with him. One time she didn't come see me, I don't think, at all. One time they slept in the car, and then like 3 times she stayed with me. 2 times wasn't a problem, but one time she brought this guy with her and didn't tell us that they were bringing someone with them, and then he stayed with us, and I was like, you can't just bring people I don't know to a house I'm renting. Like, I was mad at my sister. I'm like, this is so stupid. And she's just like, oh, it's not that big a deal. I'm like, oh my God, open your freaking eyes. Quit being, please. You can't be that retarded. You can't just bring some random guy into a house with a woman, got 2 little kids and stuff. Like, it's one thing if you're my sister and your boyfriend and they've met you before. You can't just bring this guy. So I told her, I was like, don't ever bring someone with you again. And they were on their way down, and they were like in northern Florida, and I said, did you bring anyone with you? Like, I have no room because I had those other 2 guys staying with me. Because I had gotten lonely. I started hanging out with my other friend, met those other 2 guys at the bar. He had hung out with them a few times. I let them start staying with me. They didn't stay with me all the time, but they were hanging out. We'd go to the bar after work, and they hung out at the house. I had plenty of room for them to stay with me, so she comes down to visit, and they bring this guy, and he's cooking, Crystal. And I'm like, he's doing shake and bake and stuff like that. And I was like, oh my God, I do not need this in my life. Like, but I told her, I was like, whatever, I was like, I'm not going to tell you can't stay here, but this is ridiculous. And so they weren't able to go to the pill mill anymore. So now they're making, shake and bake Crystal. And I've only tried that like a few times in my life. I've done it like a dozen times. I'm not a fan. It was just, if there was nothing else to do, everyone else was doing it, I did it. But her and her boyfriend became like huge meth heads, and she's clean now today. We've all been clean for years. I've been clean longer than her, from everything. Like I said, I've been clean for 8 years. But that's how they coped with coming off opioids. And really, doing meth isn't going to get you out of being dope sick. But it was like, they got through being dope sick, and I don't know. I don't even know what the point of it is. They got over being dope sick, but kind of replaced the habit with a meth habit. So this guy, he ends up asking if he can stay with me when they leave, and I'm like, I said, for how long? He said, just a few months. I said, okay, whatever, dude. You can stay for a few months. And he's the one my ex hooked up with. That's the fucking ridiculous thing about it. He hooked up with her after I moved to Tennessee and was sending her money back. But anyways, so I had the one of the guys there was going to the pill mill, and he got Dilaudid from the pill mill, and I tried that for the first time, and it's like the craziest. They call it hospital heroin. It's like the best buzz you can get from opioids. You do it a certain way, and anyways, So, like I said, I was doing that on and off. Started doing it too often. And that kind of catches up the story between the other two. But so I started, well, I met my girlfriend. That place I was at, I got behind on the bills, and I was asking everyone to contribute. I was like, hey, if y'all are going to keep staying here, you need to contribute because I'm behind. I owe late fees, and they're compiling because I couldn't catch up. I was like, I'm going to lose this place if y'all don't pitch in. I need y'all to pitch in. And the one guy gave me a hundred or $110 or $120, and the other guy gave me like some cordless cheap ass Ryobi power tools or something. I'm like, I can't do anything with this, and I'm pretty sure he stole them, and that's what I come to find out later. Like they were like stealing. See, I've done bad things in my life. I've even stolen. I've done some bad stuff, but I wasn't like a thief. I wasn't a meth cook. I wasn't a, I wasn't a stick up man or stick up boy or whatever. Like I wasn't like, I didn't snatch purses. I didn't steal from my grandma or my parents. Like I didn't steal from everyone's house I went to. I wasn't never like that. I was always like and I'm not trying to be like, whatever. I know this isn't like me trying to be humble, but trying to be honest, but like, I can't think of the word right now. But anyways, like I was always like the good person in the group, even though I was mixed up in bad things. So, anyways, I ended up losing that place, and then but right before I lost that place, I met my ex, and we all moved in the same house, and I moved my stuff out, and those other guys had to find somewhere to go. And she rented a place, and her friend gave up her lease, and or whatever, it was the end of her lease, and she moved in with us, and we all rented a house. I can't remember how much it was. Like, I guess it was like $900 a month or something, but. And I'm not gonna lie, like when I was living with them, I wasn't like, she definitely covered for me, on more than one occasion, and like I wasn't the best person, like I wasn't the best boyfriend, and I did try. I mean, I tried to be in a lot of ways, but yeah, I mean, I was like, I became an addict. I was a dirtbag. I took money from her without asking. She'd give me her debit card to go buy stuff, and I would take extra money out, and with the plan to pay her back. And I think I got away with it a few times, but she started noticing, and I don't know what made me think that was okay. Like any other time in the world, if I wasn't an addict, like I would have never thought that was okay. I would have been like, that's a thief. You're a thief. You're a piece of shit. You're taking money without permission. So, but I did pay her back when I moved to Tennessee. I sent like a few $1,000s back. But I honestly, even to this day, if you want to like count all as much as I've helped her, and I helped her sister and all that after I got clean and moved to Tennessee and everything, I probably paid quite a bit back to her. But I probably still owe her. There was a time when she got insurance payout from her dad passing away. It was like, it came years later. That was like, it was one they didn't know about, and they were like contacted them like 4 or 5 years after he died, and so they got this payout like later after he passed away. And I used quite a bit of that without permission. A lot of it with permission, but she got like 20 something thousand dollars. I wouldn't be surprised if I did spend like half of it, and I'll pay her back. Like, I just haven't had the chance since we split up. While we were together, she wasn't being conservative with money, and I was spending so much on the truck and my Suboxone doctor and five, six people, buying food for five people is like, $1,200 a month or more. I mean, it's just probably. I mean, I don't know. We bought TVs, we bought a small deep freezer, and paying car insurance. She ended up buying a car, making payments on one. I don't know. I mean, I'm just being honest. I'm being honest with my story, what I did. I was a piece of shit. I did bad things. I'll admit to it. But I wasn't like, I was a bad user. I got to the point where I was like, I was driving without a license. I was, without insurance. I was riding my bike to the dope man's house and on my bike like 5 miles away, and riding my bike back because I didn't have a choice. I was working under the table and getting paid like crap, working at a place where everyone was illegal except me, doing stucco laboring and everything. And anyways, but then I moved to Tennessee, and I got clean, and I turned my life around. And I still do go to the Suboxone doctor, and I never stopped. And I feel ashamed for that. I want to try to wean off of it, and I want to quit. I want to not need to take it anymore, and I want to taper down off of it. And you need to be in a good place in life to taper off of anything, Suboxone, or even if you were like taking pain medicine and you didn't really need it anymore, but you need to quit taking it. You have to taper off of it. So there's other like really high cost things you can do where they like put you in a coma for a few days while the worst of your withdrawals your body goes through while you're unconscious, and there's a drug that like flushes your system as well, and like makes it to where you barely even experience withdrawals. And I don't have the money and stuff for that, but so you need to be in a good place. You need to be physically fit. You need to have like less stress in your life. I mean, you can do it without. I mean, you can wean down in any condition, but I want to be back to work, making money, not stressed. Right now I'm stressed. I'm stressed to the gills, and I'm in bad shape. You know how hard it's hard to get up and like I said, I'm already out of energy, out of breath. I'm overweight. I'm like 8 years out of hard labor. I did hard labor for like 10 or more years before that, and now I'm like 10 years of sitting for a living or being laid up from bad health. And I have no muscle mass, no stamina. I have no energy. But I did get checked out. I got my blood tested and everything's fine. The only thing, I had vitamin E insufficiency. They gave me some vitamins for a few months. I'm sure that's been used up. I probably need more. And I had a thyroid condition, so I take levothyroxine or whatever. Levothyroxine. Take that every day. So Anyways, um, I just wanted to say. So I want to get off the Suboxone. I want to cut down, but I need to lose weight. I need to get in shape, and then I can be in a place where I can go. I can go. I can clean this whole trailer. I can move everything out of the trailer I need, and I can clean the garage. I can mow. I can weed eat. I can work on our back porch. Our back porch fascia. The front of it needs to be covered with siding, and I need to finish the gutters. The back behind the back of the house, the shed roof needs work. Like I can barely do even a little work in one day, and I'm wiped out. I'm exhausted. I sweat a lot. I'm from South Florida, so I used to. At least my body didn't get used to the heat. My body just reacted to the heat. Like I sweat more than anyone I knew. Like even since I was a little kid, I would sweat and it would drench my whole shirt. That's actually one of the things the doctor said about my legs. The reason why I was having so many problems with my legs is I used to sweat every day and get all the toxins out. And now I don't work a job where I sweat every day, and my body's retaining a lot of the toxins, and the fluid travels. The fluid, because of gravity, goes down to your legs. So the toxins are hanging out in my legs, and it's not good. So that's why I wear compression socks all the time. I always have my compression socks on. I don't know if that's showing. Yeah. Got my compression socks on, and I actually do have a sore on my right foot now. So I was like a month ago, I had a whole body rash, and my sides, my arms, everything were itching. I still have like little like spots on my arm from where I was itching and stuff and scratching so hard I made my skin break. And my foot, the top of my foot was itching, so I put my heel across and was like, like itching with my heel. And I did it once, and then like a few hours later in the same night, and I itched it, so I rubbed it so much I rubbed a sore into it. And I created a sore, and then it got bad, and the skin opened up, and it wasn't as bad as my left foot, but I've been dressing it for like a month and a half now, going on 2 months, and it's healing, but it's healing really, really slow. That's what happens when you have horrible circulation. And the other issues I talked about, the toxins, and not moving around enough, like, so it's hard for me to go get real sweaty and work out and be exhausted and then tired or exhausted, shower, and then be tired and then get dressed and putting on compression socks and everything. Like I have like no grip strength anymore. I'm fucking pathetic. Like I'm being honest. I'm in such a pathetic spot that doing a little bit of work each day would take me literal years to get back to where I need to. That's why I'm making this Give Send Go. Like I'm in such a pathetic situation that not just for my health, but for my just everyday living standards, to get back to work, to like rescue my future. Like I have to get better. That's why I need help. That's why I need help getting by while I hit the gym every day for weeks. Maybe I'll work the weekends, but I'm gonna go to the gym, hit the treadmill for 5 hours a day, power walking. 5 hours a day, hit the treadmill, work Monday or Saturday and Sunday. Sorry, I'm getting tired again. Work Saturday and Sunday, and then the money that I get donated or the money I make flipping the car. Even if I can only make a few $100s flipping the car, I'll take the car, sell it, and and maybe I don't need help for all 3 months. Maybe I make it 1 or 2 months and I start feeling much better. I drop some weight. And maybe on that third month, I can start balancing things better. I'm capable of jumping in the shower, getting everything done, wash my head, hair, and everything, and jump out. See, that's the thing. Like, I don't shower quickly either. Like, I can't shower every day. It's too hard with dressing my foot. When I was a truck driver, we were only able to shower really like every 3 days. I mean, sometimes you got lucky and showered every 2 days, but usually it was like every 3 or 4 days you took a shower. So you just try to stay as clean as you can in the meantime. You use baby wipes and, like, there's ways, you use a rag, take like a sink bath or whatever, pirate bath, whore bath, whatever word you want to use. So, I can't think of what else I can say to really, like, convince people. I know, like I said, I have the ability, if I just need a few months in the gym, focusing on my health, getting better. I used to wrestle. I wrestled for 1 grade. It was so hard. It was the hardest sport I ever did. For conditioning and for warm up, eventually for practice every day, we would run 2 miles. And it got to the point where we started running 2.5 miles. I couldn't even run a mile barely at first. And then eventually, like within a month, I'm running a mile and a half without stopping. And then within 2 months, I'm running 2 miles without stopping. And then within, 3 months, I'm running 2.5 miles without stopping, even though I'm going way slower than everyone else. But, I mean, I'm capable of, I know I'm older than I was back then. It's been nearly 20 years, but it has been 20 years. But I know I've gone back to the gym and gotten in shape, at least twice in my life. At one time I was really young. It was like 13 or 14. I lost like 80 pounds going to the gym. I got big and husky. And then when I moved to Georgia, I dropped like 60 pounds and started going to the gym, and I was running a mile without stopping. And I was younger, and I see. Another thing I'm worried about is, like, I would start running, but I'm so big, I knew it would be bad for my ankles and my knees. That's why I want power walk, just power walk. Maybe do the elliptical. Uh, there's other, like, high intensity workouts you can do to, substitute for running, but I just need. That's why I just need. That's what I need. I mean, the money isn't for the gym. Obviously, it's for me getting by, paying my bills, and getting groceries and stuff for the 3 months while I'm going to the gym. The gym's only $120, and then I get back to work after 3 months. I'm gonna be in great shape. 3 months should be plenty enough. It's 90 days. I should be able to drop like 40 pounds at least. 50. I'm probably like 60. I could probably drop like 50 or 60 pounds easily. In 90 days, that's like a half a pound a day. Maybe a little more. Lose like half a pound a day, and I'm gonna get right back to work. First thing I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to, like, do food delivery, or maybe get like a job here at a grocery store stocking shelves. What I'll probably do is I'll do something temporary. I'll do like food delivery or Uber or something like that, because the car I have now might be new enough and it's in good enough condition. I might be able to do Uber, and I'm gonna make enough money to get set up for a new job, truck driving. I'm gonna go get my endorsements, and I'm gonna get back to. I might have to go out with a trainer again because it's been years since I drove. I'm gonna go back, get with a company, And that, I mean, they'll still pay me like $500 or $600 a week to do that. Within 3 months of getting the goal, I'll do the uh, I'll be finished with the gym, and I'll be going back to work. And within 3 months from then, I'll be able to send everyone back their money, pay back the money that was donated. And soon after that, or even at the same time, I'll be able to pay the money towards a charity, Christian charity or children's charity or like an Orthodox charity or something. Anyways, just a few things I wanted to throw in that I didn't really meant. Like I wanted to say, like that the 1 hour video I made was mostly to wasn't just the dump on my parents. It was to just kind of understand my upbringing. Like if I was gonna raise my kids today, and I wasn't the best, like I call it, my ex stepchildren, and I would. They don't talk to me. I would talk to them still. They don't talk to me. But they never talk to anyone. They talk to their mom and that's it. They I mean they did say at one point that they like considered me like their dad, but they didn't stay in touch. I seen one of them. I was delivering food once. He moved back here with his girlfriend and I gave him a hug. And I was really shocked to see him, but because he had turned 18. But if I was raising my kids, like I would make sure that they stayed, busy, not bored, not going out doing dumb things. If I buy a house, it's gonna be near a good church. I'm gonna teach them about God. I'm gonna teach them about the life of Jesus Christ and biblical principles and why I believe in God, and the arguments against atheism. And I'm gonna keep them where they can socialize with other young kids and find fun things to do and not go get into bad stuff. Or I'm not, out of guilt, I'm not going to let them go leave and stay with friends for days at a time or live with their boyfriend or girlfriend. Like I would never let my kids do that after knowing the things I did and how the road I went down. And even if I do have my own kids and I'm too old to do things like play sports with them at home, I'm going to find other things to do. We're going to go to the shooting range. We're going to go hunting, fishing. We're going to, go to the movies or learn about things together or something. We're going to find interests. I'm not going to be like best friends with my kids, but I'm going to be a good parent, and I'm going to make sure they're learning their values from me and not from the world and not from school, public school and stuff, where they're teaching them all kinds of stupid things nowadays. Wasn't that bad when I was a kid. I didn't get really too indoctrinated from school. But just the learning material you have in school, you're being indoctrinated on a lot of things that aren't even really true or not the right perspective of what happened in history. And you're being taught that evolution is like a sealed deal, and it's not either, and all that stuff. But anyways, so yeah, I want to clarify that. Like I was just trying to explain how I grew up, why I went down the road I did, why I started hanging out with my sister, and how my parents were. Like I talked about my dad, but my mom was the same way in her own way. Like she was like, my dad was kind of like more of a jerk, or I don't know what the word. He was like a dick when I was younger, and he could be nice if he wanted to. Now when I was older, we got along great, but up till like my mid-20s, we didn't get along too great. But we had good moments, good times, good couple good vacations, good road trips, stuff like that. But he could be like, he could be a mean son of a bitch. But he mellowed out a lot in his old age too. So I loved him so much when he died. I cared about him so much. I like to spend as much time as I could with him, you know. So, but he was that way to me, my mom, my sister, and my mom was like weird. She was like, my dad was the kind, he gave me pocket knives when I was like 4 or 5 years old. And my mom allowed it, but my mom was the kind of person who would be like, don't play catch with the basketball because you might put your eye out or something like that. Like she was wacky, scared of her own shadow, and scared to let us do anything, or like, so it was weird. Like we lived out on this 40 acres, and if I could go back in time, I would be out there shooting real guns, shooting at targets, getting my aim good. You know, that's why I mentioned about the thing with my glasses. Like, I needed glasses for years. I was a bad shot with the BB gun. Like, I ended up shooting like a couple birds with the BB gun, and then like, but then like the couple years before I got glasses, I couldn't hit anything because I couldn't see. She wouldn't get me the glasses. That's why I mentioned the stuff with my hand. Like, they were kooky in some ways. So, and they lived in a real different time. They were much older generation. Like I said, my dad was 43, my mom was 35 when I was born. Anyways, I think I covered anything. If y'all have any questions, anyone who wants to donate, wants to ask a question, just leave it in a comment or something. I'll answer it. I hate to do this. I hate to be like begging for help. I just don't know what to do. I want to get out of this situation so bad. Right now, like, I hate wasting time too. I'm wasting time making these videos, and I need to be working right now. So I'm gonna end this video. I'm gonna go to work. I wanted to finish it because I'm waiting on my Give Send Go to what's the word, to load, to be verified and all that. I'm having problems uploading my ID for the ID verification, and I just want this video to be ready, and it's an insane amount of shit to watch. So I doubt anyone's gonna watch all this, but like, I don't know what else to say. I know my life ended up in a screwed up place. I know I've done bad things. I know to some people it sounds crazy. Some people went down similar roads and turned their life around and became successful, and I've made dumb decisions that I didn't realize how dumb they were at the time. And you know, like getting back with my ex, I should have just, there would have been no pressure on me if I didn't get back with her. I could have, you know, I could have stayed on my diet. I could have put more effort and time into that. I could have stacked my money up, bought a house. I could have found a good Christian wife to marry. I could have had my own kids by now. Even getting back with her, like the thought to, okay, I'm gonna go back to truck driving. I'm not gonna worry about my health too much. I'm just gonna drive my ass off and make this money, and try to provide for them and cover all my expenses too. And then, you know, within 9 months, I'm having all these health problems. So that was a dumb decision. That was heinously stupid, and I didn't see it. Like, I see it now. I've learned my lessons really, really hard in life. So, like I said, I hate coming on here and begging for help. That's why I said I would pay it back and pay it forward. There's nothing else to say, so I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you very much, whoever watches this, whoever donates. In the 1 hour stream, I put in the description because I knew I forgot to say something, and so I wrote in the description. At the bottom of that description is the Give, Send, Go link. Also on Twitter X, on my X account, it's the same name as my YouTube account. I have a Cash App there. Maybe I'll put it on my YouTube too. You can donate through the Cash App as well as the Give, Send, Go. So you can go on my Twitter, or maybe I'll link it on here. But yeah, it's Dangerous Loaf O apostrophe bread. Dangerous Loaf O bread. This is supposed to be Dangerous Loaf of Bread, like the song with that Protestant, like, prosperity church that was that woman singing, "I'm a dangerous loaf of bread, gonna roll right over your head." It was such a preposterous song, like, to be singing at church. It's just the whole Protestant thing. Like, I don't know. I'm going Orthodox direction. I just don't even see the point of it with how bastardized the religion has become through Protestantism. So, I don't know. Anyways, thank you very much. God bless. Thank you. Bye.